He's alive! Ricky! Paul, you guys out here? Hey, you hear something?
What?
Listen. It sounds like singing. Damn it. It's coming from over here.
It's Angela. Angela, are you all right?
Angela! Are you okay? Angela, can you hear me?
Enjoy living with us so much. Yes, I know you are. As a welcome home present, I bought you such wonderful new clothes. I just hope that Richard doesn't get jealous that I didn't get him anything. But then he is such a dear. I'm sure that he won't mind. You see, I've always wanted a little girl. But of course, when my husband left, oh, well, that's all water under the bridge, as I always say. Water under the bridge. But it certainly will be a nice little surprise when Richard comes home to find a little girl in the house. Yes, I've always dreamed of a little girl just like you. I mean, we already have a boy, so another one simply would not do. Oh, no, absolutely not. A little girl would be so much nicer, don't you think so, Angela? Such a lovely name. Why, I believe it means angel. Why, yes, I'm sure it does. I know you're going to like that name. Won't you, Peter?
How can it be? God, she's a boy.
What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing. Hope today is the day we earn that subscription. So you hit the red subscribe bar down below. The march to 500 subscribers continues. Only together can we go straight to the moon, baby. I'm gonna be doing a retro blast today, guys. And if this is the first time to the channel, a Virtual Blast is a movie where we will review that is 10 years or older and it has had some sort of impact on the zeitgeist of movie going or pop culture, so to speak. And today's movie is called Sleepaway Camp. Initially came out November 18th, 1983, and written and directed by Robert Hiltzik. Felicia Rose as Angela, Jonathan Tiersten as her cousin Ricky, Karen Fields as Judy, the main mean girl of the movie, Christopher Collect, who gets into a little teenage romance with Angela here, and Mike Kellen is Mel, the owner of the summer camp, so to speak. Some other actors and stuff like that, but these are some of the primary players in this particular movie. Now, I will say, before we continue with the movie review here, this movie deals with gender identity, sexual identity, and things like that. So, if those particular things trigger you, um, I suggest, I guess, now will be the time to uh, exit stage left, even. I hope that you will stay because I think everyone has something constructive to say if they really put their mind to it. But this really does deal with a lot of sexual and gender identity, bullying, family dynamics, built up trauma, family dysfunction. It's a pretty wild movie. Initially, it starts off with a father and his two children in a lake, fooling around, having a good time on a boat. The boat, I think, flips over, and the kids and the dad are, hi, like splashing water, having a great old time, like dads are supposed to do with their kids, right? During the summer. Um, on shore, there's another man who kind of called to them to say it's time to wrap it up because of a job interview that the dad has soon, so it's time to start going home. Now, initially, I wasn't too sure who this man was, but we'll figure out who that was later on in the movie. Then, unfortunately, there was a tragic accident with a bunch of couple teenagers and a boat, to where the boat killed the young boy, because there was a young girl and a young boy, killed the young boy and killed the dad, leaving Angela all alone to the world, okay? We boost up, we fast forward about 5 to 7 years ish because we're dealing with Angela and Ricky kind of like in the 13-year-old, 12 to 14-year-old range, right? And they're going to summer camp. Woo! Sleepaway summer camp. Let's go. We're going to be roasting marshmallows. We're going to be seeing deers. You know, we're going to go to the lake. We're going to be doing all that, boy. You know what I mean? We're going to be smooching girls. Girls are going to be smooching boys. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying that this is the first time like kids get to be away from their parents and be themselves around people their own age. And we meet Paul, who's friends with Ricky, and Paul happens to mention that Judy since last year has developed, okay? And Ricky's like, oh, wow, you know, because he used to hang out with Judy. Judy is very much getting into her own with her body and the attention she gets from boys. She seems to wants to take advantage of the of that attention, so to speak. You can tell she enjoys the attention she's getting. Okay. And she is your typical girly girl that, you know, with the hair, the fashion, all of that. She seems to be the very, like, head girl, a head mean girl, so to speak, that even though she's younger, even the older uh, the camp counselors seem to let her hang around, you know what I mean? Even though they're older and more like the 17 to 18-year-old range. Again, we see Angela kind of it initially starts off with Angela in the kitchen talking, like getting ready to get something to eat from the cook, right? Because she wasn't eating for days at that point. And the chef, the camp cook, was not a very nice guy and decided to corner her in one of the pantries until Ricky, the cousin, comes across it and stops him from doing some not nice things to Angela. And later on, we don't know who exactly it is that's in the kitchen with the cook, as he's looking into this big pot of boiling water. It's like super big too, this pot of water. And the chair he's on gets kicked under from him. All the water goes on, the boiling water like starts melting him and everything. He can't talk about who did it, and he gets taken to the hospital. Mel's like, "We gotta keep this under wraps, man. We can't get this out there about the camp or whatever like that." And so, but it seems like an accident. You know what I mean? No harm, no foul. But we just don't want that out there, type of thing. As time goes on, the more and more that people seem to be mean to Angela. There's this other boy that was kind of mean to Angela, and he shows up dead. And now it's starting to kind of be like, huh, interesting, you know. So much to the point that Mel, the owner, thinks that it's Ricky, the cousin, doing this because it's only people who are bothering Angela that are coming up injured or dead. At one point, even Judy is taken out while she's in her cabin, and the killer has her hot iron, you know, to curl the hair, and kind of it is said in interviews after throughout the years that the way Judy died was that hot roller was put up not through the back way, but through the front way. Okay. Judy and Angela were very much at odds with each other. More Judy towards Angela. She started making fun of her for not being developed, for not having her period. And I'm not sure if this is something that girls make fun of other girls about. I would assume it's goofy stuff, like much like how boys would tease boys about certain things. And it just seemed like Judy's shenanigans was ready to be taken out, and she was taken out through a hot air roller. However, I'm not sure what you exactly. It's just a roller for the hair that gets super hot, or can get super hot, to my understanding, because it can burn off your hair. I've seen. Anyway, I'm getting off a track here. Finally, well, not finally. Throughout the movie, though, Paul seems to really want to be in a relationship with Angela. He really seems to like her. Paul is the first one Angela opens up to and talks, actually. He's the first one she talks to and everything. And at one point, they're on the beach and they're having a little makeout session, right? And as Paul is starting to undo Angela's top, she starts having a memory of her father in bed with another man, and that her and her brother seen this and were giggling, which explains who the man was on shore in the beginning of the movie. The father was gay, obviously, and the man that was on the shore was the lover. Now, you're going to probably wonder if Angela was raised by this man or not, but the answer to that is going to be a no, because there was obviously the aunt, Ricky's mother, who's the sister of the father that died, right? That's how Angela got with the aunt and the cousin. I guess the courts were like trying to stick Angela with family, right? Blood family, and that was at a point where homosexuality probably wasn't viewed upon too fondly, especially with raising children, right? So, and it's still kind of crazy sometimes to think about how same-sex parents are viewed sometimes with adoption and all of that. Just like any parents, it's the morals and ethics you usually try to instill into kids that hopefully you form them into an upstanding citizen. We will have flaws, obviously, but we try to aim and aspire to be as good as we can from within our heart, right? You can teach that no matter what your sexuality or gender is. when it comes to children. But but anyway, Angela freaks out, takes off, Paul's confused, and it seems like he's getting frustrated because at some point Judy decides to play some mind games and kisses Paul. Angela seems to come across that and she takes off again running, okay? And Ricky happened to be there and he called Judy a real scumbag for that, because it's like you're purposely playing with people's hearts and heads, So, again, we're at a point now where, like I said, Mel thinks it's Ricky doing this, and you can fully see that, you know what I mean? That's his family member. He's probably super uptight over her, super protective, you know what I mean? Near the end of the movie, when things start really hitting the fan, because there's some other campers that wind up getting taken out. They're a bit younger, and they got taken out because they were laughing at Angela when she was nearly drowned by that boy and his friend that I initially said that was taken out. One of the first murder victim, he had nearly drowned Angela in a prank, so to speak. And when she was coming back out after Ricky rescued her, it's a bunch of younger kids laughing at her and stuff like that. So that was the explanation of why those kids got it, was because they were involved in humiliating Angela in front of everybody. Finally, she agrees to meet Paul down by the beach, okay? And Paul shows up. And at this same time, a few moments later, just about a couple of counselors come across Angela and are asking her to, like, come on, let's go because we need to get going. Mel had been taken out himself after nearly taking out Ricky. He nearly killed Ricky because he thought Ricky killed one of the camp counselors that he was into. So he beat up Ricky, this 50-year-old man beating up this teenager, and he winds up getting taken out by an arrow. So it's not Ricky. It's not Ricky who's the killer, obviously, because Ricky's beaten half to fucking death in the woods. When the camp counselors get near Angela, they realize Angela was the killer because she's sitting there rocking back and forth nude with Paul's head in her lap. The friend that was big into her, and that kissed Judy, head right in the lap. And you see the counselors going, oh my God, like, what's going on? And Angela, what's going on? And as Angela stands up, she makes this face and this guttural scream. It's kind of like, ah! Way bigger, way more primal. And as the camera pans down or zooms out, we see Angela has a penis. Angela has been a boy this whole time. And now how that happened was that when Angela lived with the aunt, started first living with the aunt raised him the rest of his life as a girl and kept calling him Angela and dressing him like a girl and wanting him to be a girl. And so, in the beginning of the movie, it's not the father and the son who died. It's the father and the daughter who died. And the son who survived, like I said, was raised as a girl the rest of his life up until that sleepaway camp go away, right? Was a boy the whole time. Now, I know this is not the first time that trope has been used where the killer is not a woman but really a man. The first time I've come across that was The Crying Game, right? Where the character was not the gender we assumed. I know that for some people this isn't done very well, especially like if you're a transgender person who's going through transitioning. I've heard someone say that this is maybe like not exactly the proper take on it, but it's not the worst take on it either. To me, I knew something was going on, but to kind of get that visual near the end of the movie was pretty wild. I thought it was. You can kind of start picking it up a little bit near the end, from the middle to the end, because she doesn't shower with the other girls and this and that, and not maybe not as developed as the or developing as the other girls. You can kind of maybe figure something's going on with her body or something like that, but we don't really get, like I said, the full thing until near the end of the movie. Pretty much the last scene of the movie. It goes like a night vision type of filter, and then it just ends. And that's Sleepaway Camp, guys. I want you to tell me what you think about this ending. I want you to tell me what you think about this movie, all down below. And until next time, peace, Nookums.